Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. Excuse me. I have been solving math problems for GMAT out of this book here, the GMAT Review, the official guide. If you do not have this book and if you're thinking about sitting for GMAT, buy this book immediately. You will find it at mba.com. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 169. This is a notation that you want to use if you want to search for a particular problem. Go to the YouTube and just type this in, GMAT dash and then P for page number 169 dash PS for problem solving 125. Let's take a look at it. It says if P over Q is less than 1, if P over Q is less than 1 and we are told that P and Q are both positive, that makes life easier. Not only they are positive, but they are integers, they are whole numbers. That makes life much easier. Question simply is, which of the following must be true? And then they give you a whole bunch of combinations there. So let's get going. I'm going to plug in numbers here. I'm going to plug in some values for P and Q. And which number should I plug in? I always look at the answer choices. You should, when you're taking a GMAT, or for that matter, as I've said many times before, if you watched my previous clips, when you're taking a standardized exam, any standardized exam, anywhere in the world, for anything at all, they all follow the same format. You must always look at the answer choices first, because there are two components to solving the problem. One is, of course, the problem itself, but equally important is how are the answer choices phrased. As I look at my answer choices, the very first answer choice says square root of P over Q. So I'm going to plug in. I could plug in, for example, if P over Q has to be less than 1, I could plug in 2 over 3. That would do the job. But as soon as I go to answer choice A, finding a square root of this quantity is going to be hellish. So I'm going to plug in a different number. Watch what happens. Let's make P equal to 4 and Q equal to 9. Why 4 and 9? Because I can very easily take the square root of them, because that's the very first one they ask you in A. So let's look at the answer choices. A says the square root of P over Q. So now when I take the square root of 4 over 9, it's very easy. The square root of 4 is 2 and square root of 9 is 3. What is the question asking? It says which of the following must be greater than 1? Which of the following must be greater than 1? That definitely is not greater than 1. And because they use the word must be, all I have to do is find one exception. If I find one instance when it's not, I'm sure that that is not the right answer, because that's what must be means. Must be means it has to be true in all situations. If I find one exception, then of course it's not true. It is not something that must be true. It may be true in some instance, but it's not something that we can sit there and say it must be true, because I just found one exception. A is not the answer. As you can see, this quantity is not greater than 1. The question simply is, which of the following must be greater than 1? Let's take a look at the next answer choice. Next answer choice is B, which says P over Q squared. My P is 4, my Q squared will be 81 rather. 81. Is this greater than 1? Of course not, it's not. It's not greater than 1. And neither is this greater than 1. Let's go to C then. C says Q over P squared. My Q is 9, P squared is 16, and that is not greater than 1. That is not greater than 1. Let's look at D. D says Q over P squared. Q over P squared, let's see what that boils down to. Let me change the color here. Q over P squared, I think it was. And my Q is 9. P squared will be 16. And that is not greater than 1. So that's not the answer. My only hope now is E. Let's take a look at E. Q over P. Q over P. Well, my Q is 9 and my P is 4, and that is more than 1. The answer is E. Why is answer E? Of course, I could have told you right from the very beginning what the correct answer was and explained to you why it's the correct answer. But in case if you wanted to see the procedure, this is how it is, and it shouldn't take you too long. It takes me a while, in the clip, because I explain every little step. When you're doing it yourself, just plug in numbers. Any number. You could have plugged in 25 over 36. It wouldn't have mattered, as long as, because the very first one asks you to take the square root of P and Q. As long as it's easier to take a P and square. But don't plug in 1. 1 is not a nice number to plug in. Avoid 1. When you're using a plugging in technique, avoid 1 and avoid 0. Avoid 1 because 1 does not evolve. Any number times 1 is just a number itself. You want something that's going to evolve with the problem. And avoid 0. Don't plug in 0 because 0 will obliterate the whole problem. You understand? Let me quickly explain to you why answer is E. I'm going to erase ABC here because I need the room. Why is the answer choice? E? It's very simple. If P over Q, I'm told, is less than 1, say for example is 2 over 3, then of course Q over P, when I take the reciprocal of it, it's going to be 3 over 2. It's more than 1. If my P over 3, if my P over Q is 1 over 2, then of course my Q over P is going to be 2 over 1. Of course, if you have a fraction which is less than 1, when you take the reciprocal of it, of course it's going to become more than 1. That's what it is. Answer choice is E. Just give me a second. That's about it. That's all there is. There is nothing in it. I hope you found this helpful. So the answer choice we found here is E. I hope you found this helpful. And of course, key here is the realizing that it's a classic, it's a prime candidate for plugging in technique. Don't do it in abstraction. Don't do it with the P and Qs. If you try to solve the problem in an abstract way, that's where things get messy. Just plug in numbers so it becomes concrete. Then you're dealing with something concrete. And of course, you have to plug in smart numbers. Don't plug in something that's going to make your life miserable in terms of arithmetic. Keep your numbers simple. Listen, if you wish to buy the DVDs, which contain the solutions to all the problem in this book here, or if you wish to hire my services for personal private tutoring, face-to-face personal private tutoring, I am located in Connecticut. Send me an email. Go to the website at www.prepforgmat.com and send me an email, and we will talk. Also, if you wish to get these clips, if you wish to be notified as soon as I upload a new clip, subscribe to the channel on the YouTube, and that way YouTube will send you an email as soon as I upload a new clip. Alright? Thanks.